Welcome to Test Dive, conference organized by Nokia.
Thank you. Okay, the microphone is working. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. To be honest, I'm quite terrified because of the cinema, very big room. Many people are looking at me right now, but I hope I will be able to manage. Okay, so we are going to start my presentation. I'm very happy, especially because my topic today is neither about technical skills nor soft skills. We are going to talk about the tool that, in my opinion, is the most powerful tool in our day-to-day work. So today we are going to talk about our site. We received over 80% of information about the world around us through vision. So probably you heard something about this on your biology lessons. So sight is the most important sense that we use in our work. I think most of you will agree with me that if there will be any vision impairment, we will have any vision problem, probably our work will not be as good as normally, right? If we look at offer jobs in IT, for example, there are some skills that are in every job offer. So we have some character traits that every tester should have. So for example, good tester should be meticulous, should be precise, should have eye for details, and should be detail-oriented, right? Okay, so how do we take care of our eyes? How do we take care of our health in IT in general? When I started working as a QA specialist, it was 4 years ago, I knew that right now I will need to spend 8 hours per day by desk, right? So I knew that probably visiting a physiotherapist is something that is unavoidable, right? And of course it happened this year, and I can tell you it has nothing to do with pleasant massage. So if you are able to avoid it, please do it. I knew that probably I will need to work out, I will need to practice a little bit more, and in my case it means that I will have to do anything at all. So of course some workouts, etc. 10,000 steps per day. Probably you must have heard about it, like 10,000 steps per day to make you to stay in shape, right? Okay, but when was your last eye examination? If it was 10 years ago, if it was 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, then I'm proud of you, okay? But if it was 3, 5, 10 years ago, we are not in a good position right now, okay? I had many patients in my examining room when I heard they were in their 20s, 30s, and they told me, this is my first eye checkup, the first one in my life. Okay, so if it's about you, it's good to have an eye checkup this year. I don't know if you know this, but working as an optometrist is not a piece of cake. Patients most commonly not complain about astigmatism, they are complaining about stigmata. So it can be also dangerous. Right now, I will ask you to do some exercise with me. Probably if I will ask you now, which eye is your dominant eye, you will not be able to answer. Maybe some of you know which eye is your dominant eye. Okay, I see a few people. Right now we are going to check this. Okay. So form your hands in a little triangle like this. Okay, you can do it with your glasses. If you are wearing glasses, that's okay. So form a triangle with your hand and look at this photo. This is my LinkedIn photo. I hope you will invite me after this presentation. So you're looking at this photo, and right now, please close your right eye and your left eye. And the eye that you see this photo in the center of this triangle is your dominant eye, okay? I will give you a few seconds. Why is it so important? If there will be something wrong with your dominant eye, probably you will find out very quickly, okay? Because there will be some vision problems, you will see that something is blurry. But if there will be something wrong with your non-dominant eye, that's why going to checkups is so much important, because you will not notice it from the start, okay? So remember to attend an eye examination every 2 years, especially as we are working with computers all the time, okay? If it was more than 2 years ago, you should schedule an eye exam this week. Okay, let's talk about the past. I'm going to tell you some story, and it will be my story. It was March 2020. Do you remember what happened in March? Pandemia. Yes, it was COVID pandemic. We had COVID pandemic. And I was working as an optometrist in a shopping mall in Wrocław. And of course, shopping mall was closed. We were staying home. And then when we were back in work, our employer decided that there is no need for us to stay, there is no need for 2 persons on one shift. So I was working for 12 hours per day alone. There were no patients, there were no customers. So what you can do if you spend 12 hours per day in work? Of course, you could say, Marta, you should work, and that will be, of course, true. But you know, I was looking at some gossip column, I was reading some news. I see that you are smiling because of the pudelek. Who hasn't seen pudelek or other gossip should cast the stone first, so remember. And I was also looking at some social media. I didn't have Instagram, but I had Facebook, okay? And I believe it was 8-9 hours per day that I was sitting by the desk with my laptop. And now we have January 2021, and this is the moment when I'm changing my job. I started to work 4 years ago almost as a QA specialist in Ulam Labs software house in Wrocław. So I'm starting my first IT job. I'm very stressed, I'm very nervous, and right now I'm not looking at pudelek. I'm looking for logs in Datadog, okay? I need to understand some programs, applications that are new for me. And after a few hours of work, it was 3-4 hours of work, I had a problem. In the first month that I started my work, I had problem with seeing clearly. I had splitting headache around my temple, around my eyes, so here in this area, around my forehead, okay? And I was afraid that in 2-3 years from now, I will look like this guy, especially because I already have high myopia. I have -7. I'm wearing contact lenses right now, but I have -7. So I was afraid. But because I was an optometrist, I knew what was going on, and I knew how to prevent it. What was happening to me, it was computer vision syndrome. Computer vision syndrome has a different symptoms. So symptoms are blurry vision. So you can have blurry vision from near and far distance, okay? You can have headaches, especially here in this area. You can have occasional double vision. You can have difficulty shifting focus between near and far distances. And this is quite common in exam room. So I have patient and he's telling me, I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking at my laptop, and then I see my colleague is coming to the office. I look at her, but I don't see her clearly. I need 3, 4, 5 seconds. I need to blink, and then I see, okay. So this is also a symptom of computer vision syndrome. Again, we have light sensitivity. We can have burning sensation, gritty feeling under the eyelids. And also we can feel tightness, eyebrow twitching. And the last 3 symptoms here are also related to dry eye syndrome, which is also quite common right now because of how we are working. Okay, so this is not good, right? This is not good, and it's going to be even worse. So what we can do about it? Right now, I want to give you 3 very simple tips how to take care of your eyes, how to not make them to get tired, so you will be able to work more effectively. And first of all, we are going to talk about accommodation. So we are back on biology lessons, and we are going to talk about accommodation. But first, let's imagine that we are in a forest. Right now, it's very popular. When I look at my social media, everyone is right now in the forest. They are looking for some mushrooms. I don't get it, to be honest, why. But it looks like it's very popular right now. But I'm happy, because if you are outdoors, if you are doing something outdoors, it means that you are looking at the far distance object. When we are outside, we are looking at objects that are 10, 20, 50 meters from us, okay? We have sunlight. We have green color. Everything of this is very good for our eyes. If you have children or you are going to have children, you should remember after this presentation that every child should spend at least 2 hours per day outside. In the daylight, outside, playing or anything else. Because if it will not happen, then there is a higher risk of myopia in the future, especially if you already have minus glasses, if you are a parent and you have minus glasses. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand and we need to remember that looking at something that is far away from you is good. I was talking about COVID pandemic, but right now we are having another pandemic. It's myopia pandemic. If myopia is not familiar for you, myopia is a condition, is a visual impairment when you don't see something that is far away from you, okay? So, and you are wearing minus glasses. So, for example, as I said, I have -7, so I'm not able to see clearly. I do not recognize myself in the mirror, to be honest. And if you think about someone who has, for example, -2 means that you are able to see the distance between you and 50 centimeters. It's -2, okay? So it doesn't mean that you have -1, -2. It's not a big problem, it is. Okay, but in the year 2000, 20% of global population had low to moderate myopia, and 3% had high myopia. High myopia is more than -6. In 2020, we had, as you can see, we have a rising trend. It was 29% low to moderate and 5% of high myopia. Research shows that in 2050, we are going to have 50% of global population with myopia, and 10% will have high myopia. And if you think right now, okay, what is the problem? They will wear glasses, contact lenses. Right now we have laser surgeries, etc. It's not true, because if you have high myopia, you have higher risk. For example, 10 times higher risk of retinal detachment, which can lead to visual loss. You have increased risk of cataract, of glaucoma, etc. So it's not only the problem that you need to wear glasses or contact lenses. It's a global problem that we will all have in the future. Okay, but I wanted to say something positive. We can do something to prevent this. This is the most important thing that I want you to remember from this presentation. I know that, presentation is 30, 40 minutes. We are not able to remember everything, but the most important thing is to remember that when we are looking at something that is far away from us, then our eyes are relaxed. If you look here, I'm not sure it's working. Okay, it's not working. Here you have lens, eye lens. When we are looking at something that is far away from us, our lens is thinner, okay? It's more thinner, and the muscles that are around our lens are relaxed. But when we are looking at something that is near us, like this, so for example, you are looking at your phones, then our lens needs to be thicker, and the muscles that are around our lens need to contract, okay? And when we are looking at our phones or when we are working for 6, 8 more hours per day, these muscles are all the time in this contract state, okay? And this is not good. So first of all, we should remember about the rule 20-20-20. 20-20-20 rule means that every 20 minutes, we should look at something that is 20 feet away from us for at least 20 seconds. 20 seconds is not a long time, right? You could do it even for 1 minute and it will be still fine. So 20-20-20. And of course, right now, when I'm in an examining room with a patient, I always hear objection, I will not remember. Just stick a sticky note on your screen, on your laptop with this info, 20-20-20. And that's all. And you will be able to remember. Now, I want to tell you something more about dry eye syndrome. Dry eye syndrome right now is quite popular. Popular, maybe it's not a good word, quite common. 16 to 20 times we blink per minute normally. So when we are talking with someone, when we are not focused on something very important, we are blinking like 20 times per minute. But when we are working, when we drive a car, when we watch very interesting movie, we are not blinking enough, and we are blinking only 4 to 6 times per minute. And this is the main reason why we have problem with dry eye syndrome. We are not blinking enough. Okay? Our tear film is in our tear film, we have 3 different layers. So we have mucin layer, then we have water layer, and this really thin yellow layer is oil layer. And this oil layer prevents our tear film to evaporate, so it's quite important. This oil film layer is produced by meibomian glands that we have in our eyelids. And everything that we need to do to get this oil film from our eyelids, from our meibomian glands, we should blink, but we should blink effectively. What does it mean to blink effectively? Effectively means that our eyelids are touching each other, okay? So you should just look at this guy. Maybe you have seen it. So blinking like this, look at me. I know maybe I do not look very nice right now, but blinking like that, so touching our eyelids to each other, okay, it helps us to get this oil layer from our eyelids. And of course, if your colleague will ask you at work, oh my God, what are you doing? Are you fine? Are you okay? Is everything fine? Then you can tell him that, okay, I heard that this is called effective blinking and I should do this, okay? So for example, if we are doing this 20-20-20 rule, so we are looking at something that is 20 feet away from us for 20 seconds, and at the end, we can do this blinking exercise, and that will be fine, that will be all. Eyelid margin hygiene. Okay, I said it. Eyelid margin hygiene. Research shows that women have more problem with this meibomian glands, mostly because of the hormones. But from my perspective, when I was working with younger people, I was fitting contact lenses, etc., more men had problem. And in my opinion, it's because most women need to remove the makeup at the evening. We are using cotton pads, we are using some micellar water. And when we are doing this, we are rubbing our eyes and we are doing this extra massage. And because of that, we prevent our meibomian glands from clogging, okay? And I'm not asking you right now to buy this cotton pads and micellar water, guys, but also in pharmacies you can find some tissues, you can find some liquids. If you have this problem, of course, warm compresses are also a good idea to use. Okay, and last but not least, we are going to talk a little bit more about exercising our muscles. And right now we are going to talk about extraocular muscles. We have 3 pairs of extraocular muscles that are helping us to move our eyes in every direction. We are not talking right now about the muscles around the lens, but the muscles that are moving our eyes. Okay, and when we are looking at something that is near us, only some of the muscles are working, not all of them are working. So you can use this very simple exercise. So look at something, or you can even imagine that you have something like that outside. You should start in the center, and we are going a little bit up. We are trying to focus on the place that we are looking, and we are trying to move our eyes. This is very simple. As I said, you can imagine it. You don't need to have this printed or anything else. That's as simple as that. Okay, right now, 2 minutes of relax. I know we are after lunch. Maybe some of you already fell asleep. So I will help you with this. We are going to have a little exercise. Relaxing exercise for your eyes. If you are wearing glasses, first look what I'm doing, okay, and then you can do it. So first of all, we are rubbing our hands so they will be pleasantly warm, okay. We are forming them in some cups, little cups like this, and we are placing them on our face. And now, right now, we are looking into the darkness. It's easy here because it's already quite dark here. We are looking into the darkness. You can blink under this, under your hands. You can also close your eyes, no matter what. What is better for you? And we are trying to this 2 minutes. Okay, I see who is exercising right now and who is not. I know that I have a lot of lights here, but I can see you if you are not doing this. Okay, try to relax, think about something positive. It's very good for presentation, to be honest, because if the presentation is too short, then I can just tell you to do it for 5 minutes, and then I have extra 5 minutes. Yeah, 1 more minute, okay, and we will go with something else. So it's also a very good exercise when you are at work. There is a lot of light. There is a lot of different, sounds, etc. Just to relax a little bit. And in this position, our accommodation reflex is totally relaxed. Okay, so it's the same as we are looking at something that is far, far away. Okay, I think we can go. Thank you. Do we have to exercise forever, guys? What do you see? What do you think? Do we have to exercise forever? I will give you a moment with this. I can tell you this is a perfect picture of me and my dad. I'm not sure how about you. Does this situation look familiar for you? Maybe you have seen, maybe your parents, your grandparents have problem with reading. They are looking for reading glasses in the bags, yeah? Have you ever wondered why people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they have this problem? And most importantly, will this affect you too? Do you think it will affect you too? Of course, it will affect you too. This is maybe not the best table. This is not maybe the best slide on my presentation, but don't worry about the data here. I just wanted to show you the trend. So if you look at this age, when the age increases, the amplitude of accommodation decreases. And this is the most important thing. It's not that we turn 40 and now our life is over. No, the accommodation of amplitude is slowly decreasing, but we do not see this. So normally when we have 35, 40 years, our amplitude of accommodation is around 5 diopters. It means that we are able to read something that is 20 centimeters from us. 20 centimeters from us is still fine, right? It's like when I take my phone, it's like, I think, 20 centimeters. But when we are working 8 hours per day with a computer, our amplitude of accommodation will not be 5. It will be something around 2, 2.5, and it will be 50 centimeters. So that's why we are starting to have this problem with lower distance, okay? When we look at something that is 1 meter from us, we need 1 diopter of accommodation. 50 centimeters is 2 diopters. 20 centimeters is 5, and 10 centimeters is 10 diopters. So if you are, it's also a tip for you. If you like social media, you are using your phone a lot, please do not have this distance, okay, like 50 centimeters or something like that, because your accommodation needs to do a lot of work. So if we are making this distance a little bit bigger, then it will be easier for us to read this. Okay, we are in, I'm sorry. Now I want to just tell you some tips. When you will have this problem with vision, probably you will go to optician shop, and there is a plenty of different types of lenses that could help. What I can tell you is it's good to know what is your work setup. So for example, on eye checkup, you will probably get the question, where are your screens? Do you have one laptop? Do you have 2 bigger screens? Where they are? It's the easiest way is to check, even with your arm, where your screens are. So when you will be in optician shop, then it will be easier for us to advise you something where the screens are. Okay, and let's move to ergonomics right now. It's quite popular in IT, I think. Where is your laptop? How we should just set up our working environment. So first of all, our screen should be 50 to 70 centimeters from us. If it's more than 70, it's still fine if it works for you, okay? Top edge of the screen should be at the eye level. So top edge, so this should be on my eye level. Why? Because we tend to look a little bit down. We can check this. Look at your hand. So try to look at your hand on your eye level. Right now, go 10 centimeters down and go back. And now go 10 centimeters up and try to look. Yeah, right now we are using different muscles and it's not good for our eyes. So it's better that we are looking a little bit down, okay? And also screen and surrounding lighting. And we are going to talk a little bit more here. So dark light mode, I'm not sure what you are using right now. My friends are using dark mode. Other friends are using light mode. Everything is fine. It depends on you. Also, it's good to know that if you prefer light mode, then maybe not in the place like this here because it's very dark. So it should be connected. So the surrounding light and your monitor should be like connected and should work okay. Also, we have this blue filter. We have blue filter glasses. We have night shift mode in our devices, and this is also fine. You should also use it if you like. Okay, so to sum up my presentation, you can do some snapshot or something like that. First of all, eye examination we should take every 2 years. This is very important. Looking into the distance is good for you. So go and check if there are any mushrooms in this forest. Maybe that's good that it's popular right now. 20-20-20 rule. So every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away from you for at least 20 seconds. Blink effectively. So this blinking, after this 20-20-20 rule will be fine. Shift focus between near and far object. Eye relaxation, so discovering as we practice, okay? And ensure proper monitor positioning and even lighting. And I think that will be all for today. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer. Here you have my LinkedIn profile and also my Instagram, Optometrystka w IT. If you have also, I invite you to follow. Thank you so much.
If you have any question, please raise your hand.
Hello.
Hello.
Przemek. I have a question about virtual reality, about your expectations, opinion, and maybe some experience in that matter, how it will affect our vision, especially because I feel that when I'm looking through the virtual reality goggles, there is some kind of depth in that image. Is it illusion or is that real?
I didn't work with virtual reality, but I was on a meetup in Wrocław about this, and I had some question, and also turns out that few optometrists were there too, because looks like the optometrists tend to work in IT after a few years. So it turns out that they are not. I'm not sure, but on this meetup, they told me that they are not taking into account what type of visual impairment you have. So if you have minus, plus, etc., you can use your glasses, but not always it's possible. You can also have different problem with eyes. Even the diameter, when we are prescribing glasses, we measure how many centimeters you have between your eyes, and this is not possible in this visual reality for now. Maybe it will change, maybe they are working on it, but right now it's the same as some people have problem with stereoscopic vision if they go to a movie for 3D movie and they are telling me that they don't see the difference or they do not feel okay. So in my opinion, there will need to be some work in this area to take into account that many people right now have some visual impairment, some visual problems, and for them it will be hard to use it, but I'm not sure if it will affect our accommodation, etc., because when we are using it, we feel like we are looking at something that is far away. And for our brain and for our lens, it's enough. So we do not need to work as if, because it's like less than 10 centimeters from our face, right? But we do not need our accommodation to work like that. So it's not a problem. But the problem will be when you have glasses, when you have any visual problems, and then you may feel dizzy, you may not feel okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, hi.
Sorry.
I'm Adam, and you've said that no matter we use dark or light mode, everyone is okay. And the second question, do you recommend for us as people who spend minimum 8 hours a day in front of the screen, so we use some eye drops or any medicine to use to make those eye problems to occur, but not so fast?
Yeah, what I recommend is this 20-20-20 rule, blinking effectively. If you need some drops, eye drops, it's also fine. It's good to go to examination, etc. What I mean, it doesn't matter if you are using dark mode or light mode. It depends on you. Some people feel okay when they are using dark mode, and for some of us it could be too dark. Okay, so really it doesn't matter when we are exercising with children with some visual impairments, we are using different types of. So we can also use something that is, I don't know, blue and yellow words, and it will also work fine for them. So it doesn't matter. But of course, if you have any problems, it's the best first to go to optometrist, to go to ophthalmologist and check your eyes, because maybe there is some other problems. But 20-20-20 rule, this blinking effectively, and I think in most cases you will be fine. Any other? Mm-hmm.
Hello, I'm Yulia. I want to ask about what do you think about to organize some examination in the company's offices for all employees? And do you know about such practice in companies in IT?
I don't know anything about it. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I'm not sure if the examination will be very, as it will be in an exam room, because we have many different objects. We are using many different tools. But just to check if you need an extra eye exam, I don't think it's bad. But I didn't hear about it, so I'm not sure. Any other question? Okay, here I see.
Hello, I'm
Hello.
Hannah. I'm worried is the difference between phones and paper books in the matter of how many times we're blinking and works of muscle size, etc.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It really matters that if we are talking about this blinking problem, if it's a very interesting book, probably you will blink 4 to 6 times per minute, just because you are focused on what you are reading right now. So it doesn't matter. Of course, if you make it a little bit bigger, then it will be better, the distance. But still, the blinking and this distance, we need to remember to have these short breaks after reading. I also like reading a lot, and that's why I have -7 right now, because I was really, as a child, I was this type of child who was reading a lot, and right now I have -7. So yeah, a lot of time outside. Even for you guys, I'm not talking only about children. It's in general, I'm talking that every time that we have, even if we have lunch, don't take your phone with you and check something on your phone. Just talk with someone, look outside, etc. Any more question? Okay. Thank you all. It was a pleasure to be today with you. It was not as scary as I thought from the start. Thank you. Thank you very much.